The fall of the Khmer Rouge in 1979 marked the end of one of the most horrific regimes of the 20th century, but it did not end Pol Pot's influence. When Vietnamese forces and Cambodian rebels overthrew his government, Pol Pot and his loyalists fled into the dense jungles along the Thai-Cambodian border. From there, the former dictator lived in hiding, clinging to power from the shadows while the country struggled to recover from the devastation of the killing fields. This exile is significant because it highlights the unfinished business of justice in Cambodia. While millions mourned the dead, the man responsible for their suffering continued to evade capture, protected by remnants of his army and the complexities of Cold War politics. The jungle became both his refuge and his prison, a place where he remained a looming figure long after his regime's collapse. Two striking examples reveal the nature of Pol Pot's exile. First, despite his downfall, he continued to command Khmer Rouge guerrillas from hidden camps, launching attacks that destabilized Cambodia well into the 1980s and 1990s. Second, geopolitical rivalries meant that some foreign powers tacitly supported the Khmer Rouge as a counterweight to Vietnam, allowing Pol Pot to linger in the jungles for nearly 2 decades. Supporters of this resistance, mostly Khmer Rouge loyalists, insisted that Pol Pot was still the legitimate leader of Cambodia. They portrayed him as a revolutionary hero, fighting against Vietnamese occupation. Critics, however, saw his continued existence as a grotesque reminder of the international community's failure to bring justice for the genocide. Pol Pot's exile also fueled controversy. Some argue that Cold War politics prolonged his survival, with China and even Western nations indirectly enabling the Khmer Rouge to hold a seat at the United Nations for years. Others insist his downfall should have ended any recognition, and that continued tolerance of his faction delayed Cambodia's healing. This jungle exile connects directly to the broader aftermath of the killing fields. It prevented full reconciliation, kept Cambodia locked in cycles of violence, and haunted survivors seeking closure. Pol Pot would eventually be captured by his own followers in 1997 and placed under house arrest, dying a year later without ever facing trial. His death in exile underscored the tragedy of Cambodia's journey. A dictator who destroyed a nation but escaped true justice, leaving scars that remain visible today.